think it might be Hidan, not Kakuzu. So I'm gonna showcase some cool stuff that we did today. So we went through all the ninja tools and saw which ninja tools wasn't up to par, meaning the ones that did like below 20k damage. Because when we released testing earlier, like before you guys even played, we didn't get to balance all the weapons on what it does, like the skills that it does. So the weapons I got upgraded was Kunai Blade, Mifune's Katana, the two-bladed scythe, Garyon Blade, the claws, Cleaver Blade. Oh, and the triple-bladed scythe as well. Let's see. I'm going through the list. Let's see. This sword got updated. This is the Tuchikage sword or Tuchikage. It's a custom sword. It got upgraded. Shisui's katana. The issue with Shisui's katana was that it wasn't always hitting, and it was like inconsistent. So that was fixed. The fan got updated. I'm trying to see. Most of these weapons got updated the last update. So now we're gonna go through all these weapons. So Kunai Blade. So the thing about Kunai Blade is it was the hitbox was inconsistent, and it was only doing, believe it or not, only 7k damage. 7k. So that was crazy. So what right now it does 2 hits of 13k, so that's 26k damage, and the hitbox is a bit better and it's a bit fixed. So what it does is that it does a 1k stun, and I mean a 1 second stun. Did I say 1k? 1 second stun, and it sets it up for a combo. So you can literally do this. You can do any move right after, maybe like a non-hand sign move like Flying Rajin, etc. So, or you can just hit them with the combo strings and then set that up to another combo, etc. Now the next sword that got updated was Mifune's Katana. Now this was only doing like 20, 30ish k, which it's not supposed to do. It's supposed to do about 35k. So how I'm basing this on is I'm basing this all on the max stat of 5,000. I know some of you in RPG have 6,000, but just bear with me. I'm basing it on 5,000. You can do more damage if you have more inside your Taijutsu stats. So I think it does around 35, 38k now with all the damages. Those look small, but the 5k adds up and it goes all the way to 38k. Next we're gonna showcase. Let me see. The two-bladed side. This is just a damage buff. So you can't see the damage marker, but it did hit the log. It's just a damage buff altogether. I'm not sure how like I would upgrade this blade. This hitbox for this blade is pretty big. Like legit, I can hit it from over here. See, both of them got hit. So this, I'm not sure how I would upgrade this. I just did a damage buff because it was about like 22k. I brought it up to 26. Just to get it on par with all other weapons. Garyon Blade. In my opinion, I think Garyon Blade is one of the best weapons currently for AOE attacks. If your character is built on AOE, then you might want to get Garyon Blade. So sometimes it does 25k like that, and sometimes it will do absolutely like 50k. And sometimes if they're dodging or they don't get in between like the weapons, like they got in between the weapons, it won't damage them if they're. Now, if you do this sword with like a Kage, say if you're a AOE build, if you do this with a Kage build, it'll be insane, like 225s right there, etc. And then it can hit all other targets as well if it does get them. So if you have a Kage build, this sword is really useful. It's like a good AOE, like multiple, like basically stacking AOEs, but you know, that's for you if you want it. So now the claws. The claws did, when my bro nerfed the claw hits, he added a knockback to it and made it did less. So what I did was I rebuffed it to like make it as good as the other weapons. So the claws now, they do 3.2k a tick. I think they were doing like 1,200 a tick. So it does about 10 slices. So the claws, they've been buffed. It's way better. So you can combo with this, but it knocks back. Just telling you guys, it knocks back. So if you got knockback and maybe you got like the battering shurikens, you stun them like that, and then you do another combo on them. You can literally make any combos with these weapons. It depends on your playstyle. Hidan Sight is the next weapon that got buffed. So Hidan has a lot of people wonder why the hitbox is so big, because when you're fighting against like really fast targets, for Hidan Sight, you want to be able to get there. So he does a 32k hit, and then he goes and he knocks back and sets him up for a combo. So Hidan Sight is top tier Probably one of the best weapons for 1v1ing. Like especially that 8-second cooldown. That is nice. He down sight, top tier. Oh, I forgot to mention the kunai blade as well got a cooldown nerf, meaning that it's less cooldown now. The cleaver sword. So this is actually a Kage spec in CC, and we compared it to the other Kage specs, and even though this stuns, it doesn't do as much damage. So what was done about it was the cooldown was set to like 35. We reduced that because it is 35 is too high, and most weapons are below 20 seconds. Now this is truly OP. It does 15k a tick instead of 10k. So now this sword, I hope to see it more in PvP, especially with Black Lightning users. Because if you like a Black Lightning build, you're gonna really like this sword. Let's see. The next sword that was buff was Newberry, but that just does a bit more damage. Don't need to showcase that. Stonebuster. I'm not sure if I showcased this, but Stonebuster now does a lightning stun. So it's a Kage spec as well. So this is one of the best damaging swords for this. But remember, you can easily just dodge this. You can just jump and that. So you want to get them in a full string combo, Q spec, and then I wasn't cooldown. So basically get them in a full string combo. Say if you knock them back on that hit, Q spec, and then any follow up with a combo, anything that you can basically do. So let's see. Shisui's Tento. So Shisui's Tento, I'm gonna showcase it on these logs. So Shisui's Tento hits up to 3 people now. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to. No, I think it's 2 people. I'm gonna nerf the damage because now that it has a consistent hit, it should not be doing 20k a hit. Because this with Namikaze would be a little too busted in my opinion. A little too busted. So this right here is such a nice sword now because it's Shisui. He was feared for the flash steps, so now it's more consistent. It does not miss. Like basically, even if you aimed it at the person, it would miss. If I had the old clip saved, I'll show you guys, but it was just an inconsistent sword and no one would use it. So that's been buffed. Now the fan, this has been buffed as well. Just a damage plus 27k. Let's see. I'm gonna go through all these weapons. And I think that is it for the weapon buffs. Basically, I brought up the weaker weapons, like the low tier weapons, up to par with the strong weapons. Gave them maybe less cooldown to match them. And I wanted to set up everything where everyone had the fair opportunity to, do like combos with their weapons. So, on to the next portion of the video, boys. Now, boys, for the next portion of this video, we're going to showcase Uzumaki's second form. So, the first form comes with the chain, like the chain body, etc. The basic, where it comes with the Z-Spec, where it goes. So the Z-Spec cooldown was actually reduced because it did like, I think 40-second cooldown, which was crazy. So now it does a 20-second cooldown. Basically, I want to make Uzumaki a top tier clan because it is, Naruto Uzumaki. I want to make this clan a top tier clan, which, I did with the second form. So when you activate the second form, you get the chain arms. So your Z-Spec changes. So what you can do with the Z-Spec.
Get over here!
Now, if you're wondering, can this mode or ability